Hello Year 5, welcome to today's maths lesson where we are looking at subtracting fractions when we are breaking the whole. And I will tell you what that means exactly in a moment. But to start with, can you have a go at your arithmetic starter? There are 4 questions for you. Make sure you read them and understand what the question is asking you to do, okay? And I will show you the answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully you worked out that number 1, you had to change our improper fraction to a mixed number. We did loads of that yesterday, so hopefully you found that nice and simple today. Remember, if you get yourself muddled, you can always pop along to a daily dropping session with me or Mrs. E. Okay, so here is a true or false question. It says 2 and 5/6 take away 5/12 equals 2 and 0/6. Is that true or false? Well, you need to decide whether it's true or false, and you need to prove it. How are you going to prove it? Okay, pause me here, and when you're ready, I will show you the answer. I'm not going to talk through the answer today, but if you've got any questions, you can always drop me an email. All right, have you decided whether it's true or false? I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It is false. The answer is actually 2 and 5/12. Okay, hopefully you can see how that was worked out. Alrighty, here is my little tortoise friend. He says, I don't think it's possible to calculate 2 and 1/4 take away 5/12. Now, he's probably thinking that because he's looking at our fractions. We've got our fractions here, and 5/12 is bigger than 1/4. So can we take it away? Well, just like when we're taking away in whole numbers, we absolutely can, especially when you think about the fact that this isn't 1/4 take away 5/12. It's 2 wholes and 1/4 take away 5/12. So let's have a look at how we can work this out. So what we can do is we can change our 2 and 1/4 so that our fraction is equivalent but has the denominator of 12. And we've done that by timesing both the numerator and the denominator by 3. So this becomes 2 and 3/12 take away 5/12. Again, we've still got a bigger fraction on this side, but I promise you we can do this. If you think you know how we're going to do this, give yourself a pat on the back. Maybe see if you can pause me and have a go at working it out on your own. If not, let's have a look together. Okay, one of the best ways to do this sort of question is to use partitioning, because what we are doing is we are making sure that we can do it in 2 steps to get to our answer, to make it easier for us to use and work it out. My words ran away with me then, sorry Year 5. Okay, so we've got our 5/12 here, and I'm going to partition them into 3/12 and then 2/12. Why do you think I've done it into 3/12? Well, because my fraction here is 3/12. So my first step is I'm going to take away 3/12 here. I'm going to do 2 and 3/12 take away 3/12 equals 2. That's our 2 wholes. Then we're going to do 2 take away 2/12. We can do that. We might need to use a number line to help us, but we can definitely do that because we know that is going to give us 1 and 10/12, because a whole is worth 12/12. And then we can simplify our answer by turning it into 1 and 5/6. Okay, so partitioning is your friend when it comes to subtracting, where we have to break the whole. But what does breaking the whole mean? Well, breaking the whole simply means that with our mixed number, our answer is going to be less than our whole number. It's going to be less than our whole here. Okay, and that's what we call breaking the whole, because we have to partition that whole into its fraction parts. So let's have a look at the working out here. Here I've got 1 and 1/5 take away 7/10. Now I need to make sure my denominator becomes 10. So I'm going to times this fraction by 2, the numerator and the denominator by 2. That's going to become 1 and 2/10 take away 7/10. And then we can work it out using the bar model. We've got my 1 here, and we've got my 2/10 left over here to represent my mixed number. Then I've crossed out my 2/10 from here, and then 5 more tenths up here. What is my answer going to be? Well, I can work that out by counting how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5, which is my numerator because I've got 5 parts coloured in. And how much is my whole? My whole is going to be 10. So it's going to be 5/10. Is there a way to simplify this? Is there a multiple factor, that goes into both 5 and 10? I can divide it by 5, divide both my numerator by 5, which is 1, and my denominator by 5, which is 2, and that's going to give me 1/2. Okay, so that's how we can use a bar model to help us. Okay, we've got one more method to show you, and then you can have a go. So we're going to do 2 2/9, take away 2/3. How are we going to do this one? Well, let's have a look. I've got a number line to help me. So the first thing I need to do is I need to make sure that what I'm taking away this time has got the same denominator. I need to make sure both of my fractions have the same denominator. So I've times 2 and 3 by 3 to give me 6/9. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be subtracting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my 6/9 on my thing. I'm going to go, right, these are all in ninths. So I'm going to count up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got my 6/9 here. Then I'm going to find where my 2 and 2/9 are. Here's my 2. 1, 2, 2/9. And then I'm going to count up from 6/9 to 2 and 2/9. And it's going to tell me what the difference is. So if I do a jump to 1, that's going to give me 3/9. Then I could do another jump to 2 because I don't need to count them all. And that's going to give me 1 and 3/9. And then I'm going to add another 2/9, and that's going to give me 1 and 5/9, which is my answer. Okay, so have a think about the methods we used. We did partitioning, we did bar model, and we did a number line to help us. You can go back and watch it again. Which method do you prefer? Use your favourite method to work out this answer for me. And I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to put the answer there while you're working it out as well. So unpause me, please, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully you've got the answer 1 and 10/14, or you simplified it down to 1 and 5/7. If you don't have that answer, pop along to the daily drop-in session and have a chat with me or Mrs. E about it. Okay, here is a word problem that we are going to do together, which is going to involve breaking the whole. And I've split it into 3 parts. You can't see my third part. It's hiding. Anyway, this is the third part. So let's read the question first, thinking about rucksack, thinking about what the important information is. Dexter watches television for 3 2/5 of an hour during a weekend. Dora watches 13/15 fewer hours than Dexter. Dora watches 1 hour of television on a Saturday. For how long does Dora watch television on a Sunday? So what is my important information? Firstly, it's important that Dexter watches 3 2/5 of an hour television during the weekend, and that's what's down here on my bar model. It's also important that Dora watches 13/15 fewer hours less than Dexter, and that's what's represented down here. So this is what Dora watched over the weekend, because it's 13/15 less than Dexter. We know how much Dexter watched. So we're going to have to do this in several parts because we need to work out, firstly, how much Dora watched over the whole weekend, and then we can work out how much she watched on a Sunday by taking away that hour. So let me find my clicker. There we go. The first thing I've done here is I've made it so that our fractions have the same denominator. So our subtraction becomes 3 6/15 take away 13/15. Now I've partitioned it here into my 6/15, which gets me down to 3, and my 7/15, which I'm going to need to take away from 3. Okay, so let's have a look at my calculation. Here we go. I've got 3 and 6/15. Take away my first partition, which is 6/15, and that is going to give me my 3 wholes. Then my next step is I'm going to do 3, take away my other part of the partition, 7/15, and that is going to give me 2 and 8/15, because 15 take away 7 leaves me with 8 parts. So that is how much television Dora watches over the whole weekend. On Saturday and Sunday, she watches 2 and 8/15 of an hour. But how are we going to go back and answer our question? Because our question wasn't how much does she watch for the whole weekend. Our question was, for how long does Dora watch television on Sunday? And we know that she watches 1 hour of television on Saturday. So what is it that we're going to need to do? We are going to need to take her whole weekend television viewing and take away 1 hour on Saturday, and that should give us what is left on Sunday. So we've got 2 and 8/15, take away 1 equals 1 and 8/15 of an hour. Okay, and that is the answer to this word problem. It's really helpful to slow down and do your word problem step by step by step. Okay. Here is your Very Fluency today. Have a go at these for me. They are also on the website, and also on the website is your reasoning and problem solving for today. Okay, really good work with your subtraction fractions so far. You are smashing it, guys. If you've got any questions or you want to go through some more worked examples, then please drop me or Mrs. E an email or pop along to a daily drop-in session. All right, guys, keep smashing it. Have a fantastic Wednesday.